Okay, this is the Pristine Vinyl ViVac record cleaning machine, and this is from the UK. This is probably the most beautiful record cleaning machine I've ever seen. I don't know about you. And it's the string type, it's the thread type cleaning machine. So let me just show, it's very easy to set up. I'm not going to go through the setup of it, but I want to show you under the platter. If I can get it off. Very neatly laid out. So the way this works is there's a thread right there. The thread goes down under the base, comes up here, goes into this tube here, and comes out here, and then goes back up into this piece here, and then it ends up, believe it or not, into this jar. Now there's a jar in the back there, right here, and that jar contains the cleaning fluid. They supply cleaning fluid. It's called Pristine Vinyl Deep Cleaning Solution, but they don't say what's in it. I wish they would say what's in it, so they don't. Anyway, it also comes with a dust cover, which is nice. It's the kind of cleaning machine that their position is you could leave this out where your records are, where you're in your room, because it's so beautiful and it's not big. So the way the string type thread type machines work is it's a vacuum pump, and the thread provides just enough distance between the nozzle where the vacuum is and the record surface so it can suck up the fluid. Obviously, if there was no separation, it would just sit on the record and it would be like suction. And the advantage of this kind of machine is that it always presents a clean surface to the record. So when the side is done, you lift up this arm and it automatically moves some of the thread from the spool here into the machine, so that at all times when you clean a record, a clean surface is seen by the record, as opposed to the vacuum type machines where the schmutz from the record gets sucked up into the slit of the tube. But unless you keep the velvet lips really clean, you could end up contaminating your records. So this is how it works. So here's the platter. I'm going to put the platter back on here, and I'm going to clean a record for you. So they've put little bumpers on the platter to keep the record from touching the platter, but nonetheless it touches those bumpers. So if you're going to clean a record that's dirty on one side, I don't care what kind of machine you're using, you really want to get something to put on the platter first, so that the dirty side sees this piece here, and then you remove it to clean the other side, so the clean side is what the platter sees. You should do that with any machine, whatever kind of machine you have, if it has a platter. Okay, so I'm going to use this sheet. You can use a piece of cork, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to clean this record. This record is called Oberfest by the Apple Rabbits. They're a UK group, and this is, I'm going to review this very shortly, and this is an EP. It's a 4-song EP that I think you might like, and I'm going to actually record a song of it, and you'll be able to see it on YouTube. This is a relatively clean record to begin with. So you put that on the platter like that, and you move this arm over, and it automatically starts going, and then you push the button. You got to work fast, otherwise... Now, I'm going to do it again. I'm new at this machine. I just want you to see how it works. This is automatic, but if you don't start right away, it's almost like a game. Okay, and then I want to stop it before it gets across, because you don't want to get the fluid on the label. Now, less is more with this kind of machine. Too much fluid, it's going to spin off with centrifugal force and end up on the machine, on your pants, and even on the other side. They give you a brush. You brush it. Now, the one thing I've found here that I'm not thrilled about is it's a very low torque motor, so you see you can stop it. So if you want to really get in there and get into the grooves and clean, you're going to have trouble. It's going to stop it. But you can apply a reasonable amount of force, but it's not the high torque motor that you get with some of the velvet lip type machines. Okay, so once that's on there, then you move this over to the center, and it works from the center out. Similar to some other machines by, I won't mention the brands. Why should I mention the brands? I don't want to compare it. And it's quiet, which is very nice. And you'll see that it's slow. That's the disadvantage of this sort of machine. It takes a while to clean the record. But you can go do other things while this is happening. You don't have to stand there and watch, because frankly, I'm sure you have better things to do than stand here and watch this arm move across. And it's not the most exciting thing in the world. But hopefully the angle the camera is at shows you that as the arm moves across the surface of the record, it dries, it sucks up all the fluid, and the record is perfectly dry. So we're just going to keep doing this, and I'll see if I can have something to say to keep talking to you, because I know you want to be entertained and you want company, right? You're watching the video, you don't want me to stand here and say nothing while this motor is going on. So, but actually, I have very little to say right now, because this is just a record cleaning machine. But it's very beautiful. I certainly like what it looks like. It looks like it's very, very well made too. And the fluid that goes in is in this jar here. That's the jar where the clean fluid goes. And when I had the platter off, you could see the dirty fluid is inside the jar that's in the center of the machine. It's a very well thought out machine, in my opinion. At the end, it will stop by itself. It's almost there. And if you go over a little more, it'll stop by itself if you don't want to wait. So then you can lift the record off, and as you can see, I hope you can see, it's perfectly clean. And now I'm going to turn it over, and you see the water. If you can see, there's water here. There's fluid on this side. That is one of the issues with this kind of machine. It's the same with the other brand. There's two other brands that use this kind of thread thing. If you're not really careful with applying the fluid, you will get fluid on the other side like that. This time it's only on the outer lip, so it's not too bad. I'm going to remove this. So now, when I put the record onto this platter, the platter is completely clean. The dirty side of the record never touched it. So this time I'm going to work a little faster, okay? It's almost like a game. So I'm going to get ready to push the button. There we go. Not too much fluid. I move it back. Now I'm going to apply the fluid. Of course, you can use any fluid you want in the dispenser. And I believe there's a less expensive... This machine, by the way, costs $2,610 in today's very favorable exchange rate that we have versus the Brexit pound. Okay, so now I applied the fluid. Again, you can't press too hard. This kind of stiff brush is not my favorite kind of brush, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I've applied the fluid, and now I'm going to just move this over, and you'll see it starts by itself. It's really, really easy to use. And while that's cleaning, I want to show you something. My favorite fluid from the 80s was this. This is Turamat. This is Turamat TM7XH. And this was invented by a chemist named Toi Shigekawa in California. It's an all-purpose cleaner that has no alcohol in it. It cleans, lubricates, and suppresses static buildup. And I really like this stuff. You can use it manually, or you can use it on a machine like this. And this is now back in production from a company in California using the original formula that Toi Shigekawa gave to them before he passed away. So I like this fluid for machines. There's other good fluids too. I don't want to make it seem as if this is the only good fluid. I also like Disc Doctor fluid. I also like Audio Intelligent fluid. And the Mobile Fidelity fluid is interesting because it doesn't have a surfactant, so it beads up on the record. They like that because they feel that way. You have to really spread it to get it in the groove, but I'm not such a big fan of that. They're going to be mad at me. What can you do? If you're afraid to have people mad at you, don't do what I do. It's almost done. And it will stop by itself. Or you can stop it. What I really like about this machine, first of all, I like what it looks like. It's beautiful. I like the way they've thought of everything. Let's see if the other side has any fluid on it. Let's see. This side looks really, really clean, and this side, really clean. So when you use this kind of machine, you've got to really apply the liquid sparingly and carefully so it doesn't drift off to the other side. And so it literally doesn't fly off the record because of the speed at which the platter is spinning. So I like this machine because it's quiet, it's compact, it's very attractive. They thought through every aspect of it really carefully. The applicator is cool that it moves by itself, but you got to be ready for it because it's going to start moving before you have your finger on the button on the side to put the fluid in. But I guess it's a learning curve, as with everything else. So I like the way it works. It's quiet. It's very attractive looking, and it does a good job for this sort of machine. So that's the Pristine Vinyl ViVac.